Welcome to episode 11 of Building a New Supermarket Extension. I've taken you back a few weeks to just before we've started to erect the steelwork. This episode is going to be slightly longer than the last two episodes as we look back and see how the job has progressed from this stage through to all the steel being erected, and now we've now started installing the slabs. If you go back and check out the building the retaining wall on the riverbank, we show this building this retaining wall in more detail, explaining the system that was used and the process we went through, to get to this stage. Here we've started to form the edge beam. This is basically the footprint of the new side extension. We've also now completed the carping beam on the retaining wall and installed the ranch-style fencing. Here we are looking down the inside of the existing building, and now we've started taking out the existing precast planking which formed the external skin. Going inside the existing building now, you can see there's still some walls to be demolished, existing bakery walls and some other offices, and we've removed all the concrete planks by now. And looking around here now, we've got the slab edge beam progressing. That's the section shutter that gets moved on every day at the moment. And here's what's left of the concrete planks. What we do with this edge shutter is we pour a section a day and pour a section of blinding. That's the concrete that's on the floor. So when we move the shutter along, it's got a level piece of concrete to sit on. So now that the edge beam is progressing, we've started bringing the stone through at a level in preparation for the floor slab. But before all that, the steel is now starting to be erected. As you can see here now, we've started to erect the first pieces of steel columns, the diagonal braces which tie into the transfer beam. That's the big white beam that goes along the line of the existing columns. And we've started to fit the first few sheets of cladding. Panning around, waiting for the iPhone to refocus. It does that quite often. It's pretty slow coming back into focus. We have that wall in front of us now, that grey wall. There's two offices there, but they are both to be demolished. Coming back outside, looking at the external cladding, and as you can see now, a couple of days moved on. There's more steel being erected. Quickly moving on a few days here. Back inside, we're over halfway now with the steel, the roof steel. And there you go, we're right to the end now. You can see the cold roll steel that's right on top. That's the silver steel. And that's where the roof sheets now, and the cladding, that all gets fixed to the cold roll is called. That's the silver steel you can see there. Z purlins is also another name they call them. So have a good look at that. So the Z purlins, or cold roll, is all running horizontal there. And on the roof, there you see it there now, all running parallel with each other down the length. That's what the cladding sheets will be fixed to. And then the roofing membrane on top of that. Now I showed these vertical strips in a previous video. They're simply brick ties. You can see now, here, this is the external cladding now, on top of the cladding sheets, which is some nice black tongue and groove. There's a bit of detail for you. 2x2 fixed to the cladding, and the tongue and groove fixed with nails to that. And then brickwork below, and here's the sill detail where the brickwork meets the tongue and groove. And that mesh detail there, that's simply to stop the insects from getting in between and nesting behind the tongue and groove. So that's it, sill just wraps the brickwork. When you look aside, see the sill, it gives it a nice break line. Looking up at there now, there's the boys, they're working on the tongue and groove. That's a nail gun he's using, just to pin the tongue and groove onto the 2x2 battens behind. There'll be another detail similar to the sill detail on the top where the roof meets the tongue and groove, just to finish it all off nice. There's a view now roughly what it's going to look like when it's finished. Coming back inside now, we laid this strip tiles to get the refridge in. We've laid non-slip ceramic tiles in this area, as it's going to be the new produce area and likely to be a wet floor, so they lay these non-slip ceramic tiles for obvious reasons. You see now we've progressed further with the floor tiles. The focus in the camera's going again, that's why it's blacking out a little bit. And on these pallets is all the tile adhesive. You can see now the fridges started to be installed along the back wall there. There's all the boxes of tiles. Earlier in the video I mentioned that grey wall, if you remember, the two offices, they've now been removed. You see all the debris stacked on pallets here now from demolishing all the external bakery walls. We're looking up now, that's the debris netting. This is fitted for safety so that when the guys are working up on the roof, cladding the roof, no big bits fall down on the boys working below. Showing more of the debris, plasterboard, all stacked on pallets from stripping all the walls in the bakery. I'm panning around again now. That's the last wall that's left from the existing bakery to be dropped. And you see hanging from the ceiling there, that's the old extractor fan, which was used for the donut fryer to extract all the steam when they were frying donuts. Moving on a week or two now, by the side of this cherry picker here now you see a pit. That's going to be the new loading bay. And now you can see we've started to cast the first few sections of floor slab. This view down here now, this channel in the floor, that's all the gas pipes are going to be fitted for the deli counters. That saw cut you just seen, that's after the slab's poured, they cut that, that's an expansion joint. Here's some low levels of the floor slab that's got to be cast first. That's part of this duct I was just talking about, which is going to take all the refridge pipework, drainage, etc. So what they've done, there's an edge shutter there, and they'll come through now casting the slab. And beside that shutter, behind that shutter, we'll come round a bit here now, you can see that's the existing floor slab, which in previous videos I showed us grinding this area. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this new format. Let me know in the comments if you'd like me to do a voiceover again. And as usual, if you've got any questions or anything at all, as you can see in this outro, just leave a comment and I'll try my best to get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you again soon.